I failed. Hi everyone, it's a lovely day. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Saadatu. If you're a new subscriber here, you're welcome. If you're an old subscriber, please stay back, watch and enjoy. For new subscribers, please click on the subscribe button, like the video because I know you definitely like and enjoy it, and please share if you have people that you think will benefit from this particular video. And I want you to also take time to watch other interesting videos I've uploaded too. So today I'm going to be talking about my IELTS story, as you've seen in the description. I'm sure that's what brought it to my channel. Yeah. So to begin with, IELTS exam is an international English language test that is required for people that want to migrate, especially for studies or for migration purposes to other countries. So the IELTS exam actually has two different types of exams you can write as in IELTS. The first one is IELTS General and the other is IELTS Academic. So the one I wrote was IELTS General exams. So the examination has 4 different modules. The first one is the listening module, the reading, the writing, and then the speaking modules. All 4 of the modules have to be passed at the same time. So you can't pass one, or maybe you fail only one and then you go and retake only one. No, you have to write all together and pass them all at the same sitting. That's how the examination. So it's not like a WAEC exam that you write. If you didn't make maybe 3 papers, you're going to receipt to make up the other papers. No, you have to do it all at one sitting. And the target score is usually band 9. Yeah, so the scoring between 1 to 9 among the 4 modules. So your target should be 9. Even though I didn't get 9, but your target should be 9. So you study hard to be able to attain band 9 for the examination. So the duration of the exam is actually 2 hours plus. I think it's up to 2 hours 30 minutes, yeah, or so. Yeah, and it's most people don't usually get to write it in a day. You get to write the listening, the writing, and the reading in a particular day. Then some people do the speaking on a later date, or if you're lucky, based on how you schedule the exam, you can write it on the same day, but it's usually different for most cases. For people that travel from one state to the other, they try to do the examination in a particular day or 1 day interval, since they have to travel and stay in hotels or with friends. Yeah. And in Nigeria, where I wrote the examination, I had to travel to Abuja to write it. I was already in Sokoto State when I decided to write the examination, so I had to travel to Abuja to write the exam. So the exam is written in about 11 different centers in Nigeria. Yeah, I think Abuja is there. There's Kano. So Abuja and Kano states are usually the ones available for those in the north. Then we have in Port Harcourt, Enugu, Lagos. Lagos has a lot of centers for people that are writing. Yeah. So that's it's not in all states, as you know. The examination is not written in all states. Then another thing I would like to talk about IELTS is that the IELTS examination, the result is valid for 2 years. Yeah, if you write the examination, the result is still valid for the next 2 years. That is why it's good for you to prepare for it first before taking the examination. What I mean by prepare for it is that there are other processes that you have to take if you want to migrate or you want to go for studies. So you make sure all those things are certain before you take the examination. For those migrating, though the process is now very fast, for those going through express entry to Canada, to places like Canada, yeah, you can write the examination. But unlike before, where people write the examination in a particular year and then they attain their PR to the country after like 4 or 5 years, you find out that they are in the express entry pool and then their result expires they'll have to write the examination again. There are even some people that at the point of getting nomination, they have just 2 days left for the examination to the result to expire, and then they want to quickly submit their application to lock in that IELTS result. So people are in the pool waiting, and the examination result gets expired, and then they have to write another one again. Yeah, so you have to prepare very hard and be ready before you take the examination. When I wrote my exam in 2021, the price was around 79,000 naira, and currently it's about 83,000 naira. So the price keeps increasing. And there are also two, if you want to sit for the exam, you can decide to go for the computer-based exam or paper-based. So some people that are proficient in computer and they really know that they're okay in computer, go for computer-based exam, while others that are more comfortable with paper, like with biro, pencil, ticking and writing, physically they prefer doing that, they go for the paper-based exam. And from what I learned, the people that go for paper-based exam are usually much. So in a particular venue, you will see a lot of people in a hall writing the examination. I in particular took the computer-based examination, and we're very few in my center. In the 2 periods I wrote my exam, we were very few in the centers. Yeah, so enough of all those background of IELTS. I just wanted you to know what an IELTS examination is. So back to my story, my IELTS story actually. So for those that know me, I recently migrated to Canada, like almost 4 months ago. I migrated to Canada with my whole family, and it's been a beautiful experience. And in the process of course, the process of migration, you have to write the examination, as I've said earlier. So the first time I took my exam was in November 2020. So then I actually thought I was ready, and I went for the examination. I failed. I failed. I will link up my results for you to see. So what actually happened was that I was busy at work. We had targets to meet. For those that know me, I've been in business development, targets and all that. I didn't really have time to study. So I just came across a tutor online that someone recommended to me, and I subscribed. I paid for the tutor to take me, and daily we do Zoom classes, put me through and all that. So I relied 100% on what he was teaching me. I didn't really do my own research. I just felt, okay, this tutor knows his onion, he knows what the examination is all about, what it entails, and I just settled down for all what he taught me. And with all what he taught me, I went to the examination hall, and lo and behold, I was shocked. He actually tried, but he didn't do it. He didn't put me through 100%. Let me say 60%. I was not ready at all, especially in the listening part. I was not ready in the listening part. I actually knew among the 4 modules, I knew the listening part was my challenge. I knew I have issues when it comes to hearing what they say, like what a foreigner is talking to me or an Oyibo is talking to. I don't used to hear what you're saying. I would just be like, what did you say? Come again. Pardon. Even back then in Nigeria. So I already knew I have issue listening. Even when he was teaching me, I knew I had issue with that. So he didn't. So in the listening portion, he just taught me, like, let me say 50%. One particular module that confused me the most was in the map reading, in the listening portion. So in the listening, there are about 10 or 11 questions that comes out in the map reading, and my tutor didn't put me through on map reading at all. He didn't teach me. So in the process of me researching before the exam, I saw map reading, but I just felt, okay, it was for those people doing IELTS academic. I think I even asked him, I said, no, it's not for people doing IELTS general, it's for people doing IELTS academic. So I didn't even bother reading it, only for me to be in the examination hall, and then I saw 11 questions on map reading. I was seeing maps, north, west, south, and I was very bad at directions, and I just lose composure, and it affected the remaining questions because I was not composed. I just knew that meant I have failed. So the result came after some days, and then in the listening I got 5.5. In the reading also I got 5.5. In the writing I got 7. In the speaking I got 7. The reading was quite difficult for me too, because the passage that they just brought, the comprehension passage that you answer, there are a lot of comprehension passages that maybe a passage could have maybe 3 questions, 4 questions. I tell you, those comprehensions, those stories that they bring out for you to read, they don't make sense. You see different dates in the colonial era, stories, date names, and then they'll be asking you questions on it. So I just failed woefully. So when I finished the examination, when the result came out, I was asking the tutor that, have you ever written this exam before? And he told me no. No, you've never written the IELTS exam? You're teaching me. See what happened. I was, oh sorry, it was an oversight. I had to fly from Sokoto to Abuja. Fly back. You could imagine how much it cost me. I had to take permission from work. I had to go stay with, okay, then my dad was on sabbatical in Abuja, so I had to stay in his place. I left my family, so you didn't, anyway, I just relaxed. I didn't take the examination again till July 2021. That was like 6 months after, about 7 months here after the first exam. So within that time, I really prepared hard. I took my time. I didn't engage a tutor again. I prepared on my own. YouTube was my main source of, knowledge. I went to YouTube, went online, followed a lot of people, followed a lot of channels that were teaching on IELTS. And since I knew where my challenge was on listening, I had to concentrate more on those aspects. I know I was very good at writing. At speaking, I was also good at it. In reading, I knew I had to, I got to know that there are a lot of formats you could follow when it comes to IELTS examination. It's not just like a normal comprehension. So you get to know a lot of tips, which I'm going to bring up in my next video, tips in passing the IELTS examination. So part of what I learned in the reading was that if they ask you a question, number 1, it's definitely in the first line of the paragraph of the comprehension. The second one will be in the second line. It goes like that. They don't bring a question, maybe question number 1 will come from line 6 or so. No, it comes like that serially. So there are a lot of tips when it comes to also letter writing. In the writing aspect, they have their format. IELTS has its format of letter writing. It's not like the one that they taught us in school, that you say put your address in the left, put your this in the right. No, IELTS have their own format. So when it comes to practicing for IELTS, you have to learn their format on how to pass the examination. So when I wrote the second one myself, in the listening I still got 6.5. Reading I got 7. In the writing I got 7.5, and then the speaking I got 7.5. All these are over 9. Yeah, they're scored over 9. So if you see, I had improved in the 4 modules, and in the listening I had 6.5, which was quite low, but it was enough for me to enter into the express entry pool. I knew I didn't have to target band 9 because I already knew I was going to get provincial nomination. That is another story. So for those that are strictly going to be on the pool and are waiting to be selected on the express entry pool, they have to max their IELTS to get up to band 9, because they higher the band, they higher your points. And you know, this migration system is a point-based system whereby they do draws every 2 weeks, and it's based on the highest in this pool. So if you have a band 7, your score, your points is definitely going to be lower than somebody that has a band 9. So you have to max out your IELTS examination along with other components. I'm just concentrating on the IELTS. IELTS is not the only thing that you write to migrate. There are a lot of things. You have to get letters from your organization. You have to evaluate your degrees, your masters. You have to send it. The CODA process, where there are a lot of processes involved, but this is just for the IELTS examination. So that was how on my own I was able to get my IELTS score, which was enough for me to be in the pool. So for you to be on the express entry pool, you must, in each of the modules, you must have above 6 points. So if I had written the second exam and I had 5.5 somewhere, even if I had 9 in the other 3, I can't be in the express entry pool and the result is as good as useless. You have to write it again to get in each modules to get above 6 points, at least to even be in the express entry pool first. Yeah, so that is what happened to me. I had to study on my own. I took time to really practice on my own. I didn't engage the tutor. Of course, he told me that don't worry, let's register for the next one, I'm going to put you through now. I said no. I advise before you teach somebody, before you be a tutor for somebody, go and learn the exam. Even if it's not for migration purpose, you don't intend to migrate from Nigeria, but the fact that you're teaching people, you should also experience what that examination is all about before you teach somebody. You can't teach somebody what you don't know. So that was how I just cut off from him, read the examination myself, and I was able to get the band score. So the overall band score I got in the previous one was 6.5. So in the current, the last one I wrote was 7 points, and that was the result I used to migrate to Canada. The result is still valid. Yeah, even though I'm still in Canada, the result is going to expire in July this year, 2023, because I wrote it in July 2021. So imagine if I was still in the pool, still waiting, still hoping on God to answer our prayer, I would have, the result would have still been valid and I don't need to retake another one. Alright, so that's all about my IELTS story. As I said, I'm going to make a video next time on tips and tricks in passing the IELTS examination the very first time. I will do that, and I hope you also watch the video when I post it on my channel. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope you've subscribed to my channel so you also get more interesting stuff from me. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye.